Welcome everybody to Bowles Theory of Everything. We've not been well, that's why there's been no video for a week. We suffered like a lot of people at this club and in the country on flu. So I hope you're well and avoiding it or getting over it. So today, the jack. I've got my bowl, but I'm not going to use it. I love holding this bowl when I'm talking. So first of all, the importance of the length of the jack and the mat placement. In my previous videos on mat placement and tactics, I emphasised how important the mat is where you put it and hence the jack length. Here's why. Your opponents may dominate on a certain jack placement, so they will win unless you change that. Or, put it another way, your team may only dominate on a certain jack placement. So if your lead cannot find that jack placement, you are going to lose. There's a lot of pressure in achieving that jack placement, as you can see, because it's so important. The lead gets one go to cast the jack, one go. But the lead's going to have two bowls at least. The team have got bowls, so they can redeem the situation up to a point. Similar to cricket, a batter makes one mistake, he's out. The bowler can bowl 3 long hops and then take a hat trick. He's a hero. If you are the lead, you get it wrong, and your team drop a lot of shots, everybody knows it's your fault. No pressure then. Who should watch this video? Well, you might say just the leads, and of course it's most important for them. It's an integral part of their game. But if you're not a lead, one day, because if you're not well or you get older, you quite often gravitate up to the front of the team. Also, it's important for everybody in the team to understand the pressures put on leads and support them. Skip in particular has an important role to play, and I'll tell you about this later on. The lead has a jack in his hand. The skip has asked for a certain position. Standing on the spot required. Everything is quiet. Everybody's waiting for you. What do? Some bowlers don't give it much thought to the extent of carelessness. They toss it down and then go and pick their bowls up for the real delivery, their bowls. Others get too tense and they jerk it like that, sideways. And it really doesn't look like a delivery. It looks so unnatural. And they bowl it much worse in their delivery of their bowls. So they jerk the jack and then bowl a beautiful bowl. Why is this? Let's demystify the delivery. Forget techniques. Clear your mind. Pretend you're just playing with the kids or throwing a ball at skittles in a fairground. Hold the jack between thumb and fingers. So don't hold it in the middle of the palm. Hold it towards the end and roll it to the target with a delivery that's similar to delivering a bowl. Sounds easy. Well, it is. You just have to convince yourself that it is. Now, there are differences and similarities between bowling a jack and a bowl. The similarities are everything you've learned about the basic delivery on bowls applies. So when you're on the mat, I'll stand this way, you're square and you're aiming that way, you aim down the line of delivery, you bowl it, you're looking down the line of delivery, you follow through down the line of delivery. Those things are standard. The differences between jack and bowl are due to the difference in size and shape, weight and bias. The jack is smaller and lighter than a bowl, meaning it has less resistance when rolling. Bowls are larger, heavier and biased, which slows them down as they curve and lose momentum. The difference is accentuated on fast or slow greens. The jack runs farther with less effort on fast greens and vice versa on slow greens because the jack sinks into the surface more. Your body will readily adjust to these differences with experience. Nevertheless, I've sometimes been surprised at the speed of the jack on some indoor rinks compared to the relative speed of the bowl. You have to then rein back on the jack length, but make sure you don't pull the bowl too short. One other difference is the jack is bowled to a point in an open space, whereas the bowl has at least the jack as a target. That is why it's important for the skip to mark the spot. Outdoors, where the green is more lush in the corner of the rink, you can go into the corner and you gain a bit of stopping space, if you like, because the grass is less worn down in the corner. So when you're bowling the jack up to here and it comes down into the end of the rink, it slows down. But indoors, not so much. I'm now going to move out onto the rink and show you the different lengths that are possible, the maximum and minimum. Here I am down the other end on the tee, and I'm going to show you 6 basic lengths of jack. Now the first one would be the minimum, which is from the tee up to the jack, which is in line with those 23-meter markers. And that's 23 meters exactly. That's the minimum it can be. Then if you want to bowl a 3/4 length from the mat, you then bowl it to roughly where the jack is, the next jack in the middle. And then if you're on the tee and you want to bowl a full length, you go from that tee down there right to the jack down the other end on the tee. And finally, you can bowl from here, which is as far up as the mat is allowed to go, down to the end. Now, when the mat is in the middle, you can bowl to the middle, which would be a short jack, and you can go from the middle here to the jack on the tee, which would be a 3/4 length. So that's 5 positions. And here's another position where the mat would be up here, and you're bowling down to the jack on the tee, which is the minimum 23 meters. I'm now going to go and talk to you about the difficulties of them. Now the difficulty is more with the short jacks, because on the short jacks, and for example, when you bowl from the 23-meter mark there down to the short jack here, down on here, you can't bowl short on a short jack because you're going to be bowling less than 23 meters. So you have to bowl to this tee or further, otherwise it's an illegal jack. So the minimum jacks are the most important, difficult play. The long jacks are quite commonly played anyway. So from tee to tee is more common than the very short ones. It's very rare that you bring the mat up to the minimum and try that. Here I am. The mat is right up. The skipper's asked for a minimum length jack, which means I have to bowl from here to the tee. The jack can't be short of the tee by any amount or it's illegal. So what do? Well, usually the skip will stand on the tee, but I suggest the skip stands on 1 yard behind the tee. That gives you a yard leeway. So if you bowl onto that point, then the jack is then replaced on the tee. As long as the jack stays on the rink, but is past the tee, that is good. Now, this requires a lot of practice, so I haven't practiced it for a long time. So I'll tell you about practice drills in a minute, but here goes. This is just an attempt to go just past the tee on a minimum length jack. I'm about a yard short there. That would be a no jack. I think I've adjusted it. Yes. So that shows you that you do need practice on these minimum jacks. And if you're a bit tense, it will catch you out because you'll bowl short like that. And then you'll try and adjust it and go off the end of the rink. This drills for a jack. Great thing, it's essential for getting that jack in the right place. And you do it very much as you would for bowls. You try and alternate between lengths to get you used to going long and short, long and short. So for example, try the long one. There's a mat in the distance. You try and get it as close as you can as that. I think that's better. That's nearly, and then you try for a short one where the short mat is. So that's on that short mat length, and then you just alternate, keep going till you get that touch and feel of alteration. So what is an acceptable margin for error? If you're that through, is that good? Yes, that's through. Anything within about 12 to 18 inches at a top level is very good. With grassroots bowling, if you get within a metre, I think that's good. At least it's close and it's gonna help your team. So, role of the skip. If you're skip, you need to understand what torment a lead can go through with that jack. You can help with their technique if you see something's not right. Don't be too demanding. Allow a reasonable margin for error. Keep your lead relaxed. Only demand of the lead what is reasonable. And a note to leads, if you miscast the jack, you make it too long and it should be short, you do have a chance. Relax, deep breath, and nail the jack with your first bowl. That will help a lot. Conclusion, remember, a singles player can have 4 bowls. A triples team can have 9 bowls. But there's only one jack. Make the best use of it. Thank you very much. Any comments? Because this is a bit of a contentious area. And please remember to subscribe to get the next videos. My next videos is all about signaling. And that's a very interesting one too. So thank you very much for watching and farewell.